Hi, everybody. I really enjoyed getting to know a little bit about you last week during Module 1, and I thought our discussions were really robust and exciting. And I'm looking forward to starting in with you on Module 2. So I just wanted to do a walkthrough. If you want to go ahead and click on the content button at the top of the page on the menu bar, and then scroll down until you find Module 2, you can walk through this with me. So once you're there in Module 2, called Communicating Clearly, you'll go ahead and take a look at that module overview. So click on that link, and you'll learn that in Module 2, we're going to be reviewing the writing process, and you'll be learning about some components of the final project in more detail. It's important to remember that writing is a skill that requires constant practice. And I often suggest to my students that besides the practice that we're getting in this class, you begin keeping a daily journal and just exploring, even thoughts of what is going on in your day or things happening in your life in your journal can drastically improve your writing skills. So then you'll also notice that we have some Hawks assignments this week, and the due dates for those will be posted shortly. But you can also see them once you log into the Hawks platform. And that Hawks platform is where you're going to be learning about the various grammar components and practicing your skills in the grammar and mechanics of language. You'll go through how to write introductions, some common spelling mistakes, and things like that. And those are set up to happen about every 2 weeks or so. But as I stated, you'll see a list of due dates in the announcement section coming up, probably tomorrow, Tuesday. So if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see we have the competencies just as we had during Module 1, and this is a feature that you'll see in each of the modules. You can click through these competencies once again if you want to know exactly what skills we're working on and what's transferable. So then if you click the next button, that arrow up at the top or the bottom that says Next, you'll come to the module activities page again, and this is where you'll watch the Hawks training video, how to annotate a text. There's a hypothesis walkthrough, annotating as a group, and saving and uploading hypothesis in annotation. So this is just a different way of annotating. You do not have to use an electronic form of annotation in this class. You can still do the written form. And then you'll notice that we're going to be reading America's Pastime and Ground Zero. If you scroll down just a little bit more, you'll see that we're going to be participating in a discussion, and you're going to be completing a process page for milestone 1. You do not need to turn in that process page. It's just something that you will complete this week to practice what we'll be turning in later weeks. And you'll also notice that there is a annotation assignment compare contrast number 2. And then scrolling down further, you have some annotation resources and the module outcomes just as we saw last week. So go ahead and click that next button once again, and that will bring you over to the Hawks platform, which will load Hawks for you. You'll see our class there and my information, and you can click on View Course. It'll take you directly to where you need to be. You may need to sign in with your login information the first few times. Some people find that they have to log in each time, and then you'll see what Hawks assignments to complete in that area also. Go ahead and click the next button, and you'll see we have a Module 2 discussion, which is on your relationship to writing. So obviously we're doing a lot of writing in this course. And here, if you look at part 1, that milestone 1 process page, that's what I just mentioned. This is something for you to complete. You do not need to submit this process page. You can see that in the instructions. You will be completing them, however, for the other milestones. So this one is just for practice. So what you'll put in your actual discussion post this week is going to be describing a literacy event from your past. A literacy event is any event that revolves around communication and how it affected your relationship with writing and reading, or both. Did you have a positive or a negative experience? For example, my parents used to take me to the library each week, and I really loved just looking through the stacks of books. Even when I was a young child, I found this process very engaging, and I would look through various picture books. And as I got older, I would just sort of immerse myself in the stacks. And then we would check out some books at the end, and this process would repeat each week. And it was something that I felt was very positive in my life and solidified that relationship for me with reading and with writing, and just, disappearing into other worlds and finding out information. And so that made writing and reading a positive experience for me. But I noticed that, a lot of students also have negative experiences, and that's okay to talk about too. So please feel free to share any negative experiences that you have with writing and reading, etc., according to like some things that you may have experienced in your early childhood or perhaps at school. A lot of students do talk about how we're forced to read specific things, starting in elementary school and just going all the way through grade 12, and that really turns them off of reading and writing. So hopefully we'll be able to, find a nice balance between things we're reading in this class and things that you like to read outside of class, to kind of change those negative experiences if you're one of those people that falls into that category. You'll notice again that this discussion is due on Wednesday, and then your 2 response posts are due by Sunday, and that is Central Time. So you can go ahead and click the next button once again, and you'll see that we have an annotation assignment. It is a compare contrast this time. So you're going to be annotating in the way that you did before, whichever mode of annotation you chose, but you're going to be comparing and contrasting the essays. So you're going to read 2 sensory essays. We're going to be working on our sensory skills, which are those descriptive skills where we get into describing the 5 different senses as we have experiences. That's something that we'll work on throughout the class. So you'll have an opportunity to take a look at a couple of different essays and how they get into the senses. You might want to highlight specific senses in both of these essays. For example, in the essay, are they talking about the way something feels? Are they talking about or illustrating a sound in some way? And how do they do that on paper? Because you're going to be writing your own sensory essay. And so you can use some of these same techniques that these writers are using in your own essay. So then you will be, of course, submitting your assignment to the Dropbox by the due date. And that pretty much wraps up what we'll be doing in Module 2. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at any time, and I hope you enjoy your week.